Manchester United in pole position, according to Damasio and the brilliant Nazir Kinsella, to sign one of the best goalkeepers in Europe, Onana. 50 million is the rating. Chelsea are pulled out, but why is the big question surrounding that? We're also looking at Arsenal, who are optimistic and confident that their new bid of £60 million for Kai Havertz will be accepted. £250,000 a week wages also reported as well. And Chelsea, as Kai Havertz leaves, hope to complete their £30 million Nicholas Jackson move next week. They have told Villarreal that they will meet the release clause early next week. Personal terms agreed. So this is pretty much a done deal unless Chelsea pull away. All that and much, much more coming up on the Done Deal show. Hit the like button. Download OneFootball right now, which is where we source all these stories from. But the most important part of the football terrace, so most of you get it, some of you still kind of don't. We want your opinions on the transfer stories, the stories being presented by the media. Let us know in the comment sections. Let's go. Chelsea hope to complete their move for Nicholas Jackson next week. £30 million is the buyout clause, and they have informed Villarreal they'll be making that bid. They've agreed personal terms with the player. I know some journalists won't go as far as to say this deal looks like it's a done deal and it's in the process to being a completed deal, but I'm not a journalist. I'm not here for credibility. I'm here to report to you what the media is saying, to give you my opinions, and to, of course, to understand yours. But for me, if you agree personal terms, if you inform Villarreal you're going to bid the asking price, the release clause next week, that's about as done can be before this paperwork is signed. Chelsea look like they've landed their new man. The article here says an exclusive revealed by OneFootball this week said that the Blues are working hard for a deal for the 21-year-old after face-to-face negotiations and an agreement over personal terms. That was OneFootball that broke this news maybe 4 or 5 days ago, and most people didn't pick up on it or focus upon it. Maybe it's the lack of fame and the kind of obscure nature of this signing from Chelsea. It says here that Chelsea are acting quickly to secure the Senegal international after he was targeted by both AC Milan and Aston Villa, while the caliber of clubs interested continues to increase after Jackson scored 9 goals in his final 8 La Liga games of the season. Now, I've been somebody that's been a little skeptical so far of Jackson. What I've read about him, what I've seen, he looks good. He looks okay. He looks like a £30 million player. But we know that in 2023, £30 million isn't the value of the majority of the top strikers in the world. But I want to understand Chelsea fans who, no doubt about it today, you will be scouring the internet, reading scouting reports, watching video footage, trying to understand, ascertain, and develop your own opinion and feelings around this deal. I want to know right now in the comment sections what you think. We know personal terms are agreed. The bid's going to be made Monday or Tuesday. He wants to be a Chelsea player. Right now, there's no sign they're going to pull out of this. Done deal? Is it a done deal? Will this complete? I want to know right now in the comment section below. I want to move on to Arsenal next, because Arsenal, of course, probably the biggest talking points in the transfer window so far have been about Arsenal. The big bid for West Ham, for the West Ham midfielder Declan Rice. Criticised by many. Why don't you just bid what West Ham want? Why don't you pay their terms? They're never going to do that. They're going to negotiate. The same here when it comes to Kai Havertz. They want him. According to Matt Law, they've offered £250,000 a week salary to Kai Havertz. This isn't a player for the bench, Arsenal fans. Wake up, smell the coffee. He may start the first few games of the season on the bench, but you don't offer somebody, even if that's inclusive of bonuses. Let's just say Matt Law's comment is inclusive of bonuses. You don't pay someone 180, 190, 200, 210, 220 a week just to be a bench player. You pay them that to come in and challenge to be a first team regular in your team. Now, Arsenal are optimistic. They've put a new £60 million bid in. They believe that this deal will get over the line. Reading the article here on One Football, they state that Arsenal are reportedly confident 60 million will be enough to prize Kai Havertz away from Chelsea. That's according to many sources that One Football has spoken to, including The Guardian, who claim the Gunners are set to have increased their opening bid for the 24-year-old. After already seeing one bid rejected from their London rivals, Arsenal's pursuit of Havertz since being Bayern Munich, reported that Bayern Munich will join the race for the German international, but most German press and sources believe he is destined for the North London club Arsenal. He's unlikely to sign a contract extension. Havertz, who has 2 years left on his deal, is likely to be offloaded this summer in order to avoid a situation whereby he could run down his contract. So it's very, the One Football here, very resolute. They think Arsenal are confident. Bayern Munich looking to get involved. But I think Bayern Munich know this guy wants to stay in the Premier League. The money that's being offered to him by Arsenal is massive. The chance to be a first-team regular in one of the biggest teams in the world, in the best league in the world, is obviously a massive attraction to him. He's clearly settled in London, doesn't have the overarching desire right now to go back to his native Germany. And I think this is a brave move from Kai Havertz. I will say this, a brave move. Because Bayern Munich, whether he does good or bad, he's going to go there and win league titles. Most people in Europe it doesn't really matter what he does. He'll just become part of the furniture. He'll be an also run maybe. If he's brilliant, he might stand out. But even if he's just an average, good squad player in a Bayern Munich team that wins most of the trophies in Germany, he'll have a good career, win trophies, and be left alone. Going to Arsenal is big pressure. Every Chelsea fan in this country, every Chelsea fan around the world is going to want him to foul. Every rival of Arsenal's is going to want it to be a flop because they're going to want to add insult to injury. It is perceived as a bad, awful, disgraceful piece of business by Mikel Arteta and Edu. 60 million seems excessive to most people. That pressure is huge. So I take my hat off to Kai Havertz for accepting that challenge. Yes, they're paying him a premium to do it. And of course, the money will be a motivator. But this takes a lot of bottle, big old ball bags, and a hell of a lot of confidence in your ability to turn your career around. At a team, by the way, that's going to get even more eyes, more pressure, more scrutiny than Chelsea in the biggest league in the world. You've got to credit that. If you don't think he's a good footballer, you've got to credit his bravery on that. And I certainly do myself. This deal looks like it's really closing in fast to move into a done deal so they can get into the home straight to complete it. But I want your opinions as ever on this, people. Remember, the news stories and the headlines are great. The title of the video is great, but your opinions is what count. How many other YouTube channels tell you that? Not very many. Listen, we want to know. Now, moving to Man United, Chelsea have pulled out of the deal for Onana. Why? Now, according to reports, Man United are now the favourites to sign him. DiMarzio was first that I saw break this. Highly credible Italian and European transfer guru. Nazir Kinsella is a journalist I have a lot of faith in and a hell of a lot of credibility in this man. Also claims Chelsea have pulled out, and Man United, his words are now in pole position to sign the 50 million rated star from Inter Milan. Now, the article here on One Football states Man United and Chelsea are in the market for new goalkeepers. Man United want a shot stopper who could compete with or even replace David De Gea, who is out of contract at the end of this month. Chelsea, meanwhile, are looking for an upgrade on Mendy and Kepa, who have both flattered to deceive in recent months and years. Onana enjoyed a brilliant 6-year spell at Ajax before he joined Inter Milan last summer. He also impressed the Serie A outfit during his debut season. Man United and Chelsea have been in the running for Onana, but according to multiple sources across Europe, and what One Football has found, is that the Blues have now ended their interest in the Cameroon international. This is said to leave Man United in pole position to sign the 27-year-old. They are favourites to sign him, and he is expected to cost around £50 million. As we all know, Onana previously worked with Ten Hag at Ajax. So, of course, there is that talent. The relationship is already there. It gives Man United potentially an edge in those negotiations. None of the articles as of now go into any real detail as why Chelsea have pulled out. It could just be they found a better option. It may be their budget isn't going to spread that far. Sometimes teams publicly state they're pulled out because they know they're not going to win the race. Could be any one of those three reasons. But for me, I said it earlier on today, Man United need a goalkeeper like Onana. They need a goalkeeper like Costa. You will see Man United's ability to retain possession increase tenfold with a goalie with a great passing range, both short, mid, and long range. We lose it on average 17 times per game from unforced errors from our goalkeeper. Awful. We need to improve other areas, but this alone will improve Manchester United. Now, the situation surrounding David De Gea is complicated. There is talk from some media outlets that Man United don't have enough money to buy a goalkeeper. That is the reason why Ten Hag is in a position whereby he's looking at De Gea to renew his contract. Yes, only for a couple of years, massively reduced salary. He has reservations about staying with David De Gea as the number one. He wants him to become the number two, or at least have someone to compete with him. But we know what that means. It means phasing him out because he knows he doesn't have the capabilities in 2023 to help Ten Hag, play his optimise his style. Sorry. But if Man United don't have a budget, what's the manager to do? Until the takeover completes, until Man United's financial situation is resolved, he could be hamstrung. We all know I'm skeptical about when the media say we've got no money. They've done it 2 years prior to this running. We spent a lot more than they suggested. We have to sell players, of course, first. And United are in the process of doing some deals around some exits. So I do remain cautious around my optimism when it comes to the potential of bringing in a new goalkeeper. But I think it's a massively important role for the club. Costa has always been my number one choice personally. But trust me, we bring in Onana. I am not batting an eyelid, worried or concerned. Both are absolutely tip-top modern-day goalkeepers. Onana has played the Ten Hag system before. I think potentially that is a massive advantage to Manchester United. But as ever, your opinions count a lot more than mine. I care more about them than the articles that are out there because you are the fans, and that is what the Terrace was created for. Give us your thoughts and your feelings below in the comment section. Make sure you subscribe as well. Make sure you download OneFootball. All the stories are there. I get a lot of you question me, Terry, where's the source? Where are you getting this from? Why did you write these headlines? It's all based on the articles that are being put out there by lots of mainstream media outlets. Your job, my job, is to read them, review them, to give our thoughts and opinions on them. That's what fans have done since day dot. Don't get triggered by them, though. It's a weird thing to do. And I don't really think it's the Football Terrace community that gets triggered by them. I think it's the outsiders that pop in every now and then. That's just my take personally. But listen, leave your comments below. Let us know what you think and feel about these stories. Until next time, take care. Goodbye. God bless. And I'll see you all again.